Hello and welcome to my latest video. Now this video we are featuring one of the great lightweight fighters and the fighter that is currently ranked as the greatest Welsh fighter of all time in my all-time rankings, the great Welsh wizard Freddie Welsh. So let's go through his deep career, beginning with his main opponents. So Freddie Welsh, fought the great little Hebrew Abertel, scoring one win, in a singular fight. He then twice fought former champion Matt Welsh, scoring one win and one loss. And then Freddie Welsh fought another former LINEAL lightweight champion, Willie Ritchie, who's also in the hall. Freddie Welsh fought him on 3 occasions, scoring 2 wins with 1 loss and no draw. Next up, another all-time great, Johnny Dundee, is also defeated by Freddie Welsh, and then he scores 3 wins out of 3, in a fight series with former lightweight champion Ad Wolgast. Next up, the great ghetto wizard Benny Leonard, Freddie Welsh couldn't best him in the trilogy, scoring 1 win with 2 losses and no draws, but he then did score also a win over another Hall of Fame lightweight fighter, battling Nelson, in a singular fight. Next up, 2 more Hall of Famous. The first is Rocky Kansas, the tough lightweight champion of the 1920s. Freddie Welsh lost to Rocky Kansas, and he also lost to long-reigning LINEAL featherweight champion Johnny Kilbane. Next up, a fighter Freddie Welsh couldn't defeat as well, the great Packy McFarland. Freddie Welsh fought a trilogy against McFarland, suffering 1 loss and scoring 2 draws. He then did score a win over Hall of Famer Jim Driscoll, before then also gaining a win over Tommy Kid Murphy. Next up, 2 contenders. The first is Archie Walker. Freddie Welsh lost to him, and then he also lost to Billy Mahag in a singular fight. Freddie Welsh closes out his first slide, with 2 fights, to which he split into 1 win, 1 loss, no draw against Tommy Love. So there's his first slide, done and broken down. We go on to slide 2. Freddie Welsh had a trilogy of fights with Matty Baldwin, the tough contender, scoring 2 wins with 1 loss and no draw. Welsh also once fought and lost, to another tough former lightweight contender who will get covered on a video, that is Tim Callahan, before scoring 2 wins from 2 against the underrated and well-travelled Young Earn. Next up, Young Joseph, Freddie Welsh fought him on 2 occasions, scoring 2 wins, and he also scored a singular win, against Cyclone Johnny Thompson. Next up, another real tough lightweight contender, Willie Fitzgerald. Freddie Welsh fought him on 1 occasion, fighting to a draw. He then scored 2 wins from 2 against Phil Brock, before scoring a singular win over former title challenger Ray Bronson. Next up, is Johnny Summers, whom Freddie Welsh also defeated in a singular fight, as he then did with Philadelphia Powell Moore. And then on to Freddie Welsh's latest trilogies. Fought a lot of trilogies, with Ad Wolgast, Benny Leonard, and others. And now, of course, Lockport Jimmy Duffy. Now, he didn't win this trilogy. Freddie Welsh scored 1 win, suffering 2 defeats with no draws. And then he fought 2 draws to the capable contender Grover Hayes, before then closing out slide 2 with 3 singular wins. The first was against Milburn Sailor, the second was against Sam Robidoux, and the third against Mexican Joe Rivers. So you may not be as familiar with all of those fighters on that list, but there are a lot of very, very good fighters and tough fighters, capable fighters on that list. So on slide 3, which is Freddie Welsh's last slide, he scored a singular win over Leach Cross, before then also scoring a singular win over the excellent Joe Mandot. Then he fought a 4-fight series, with tough UK fighter and one of the tough lightweight contenders of his time, Charlie White. Freddie Welsh scored 3 wins while suffering 1 loss from that 4-fight series. He then also fought the excellent Joshua Grew twice, suffering defeats in both fights, and then fought the capable contender Johnny Griffiths, also on 2 occasions, suffering 2 defeats, as with Joshua Grew. Next up, Frankie Fleming. Freddie Welsh defeated him, and then he twice fought Richie Mitchell, suffering a loss and a draw from those 2 fights. Next up, Ever Hammer also defeated Freddie Welsh in a singular fight, before the final 2 names, Freddie Welsh scoring a singular win over Tommy Lowe, and then suffering a defeat against Eddie Wallace. So there are 64 fights highlighted there. Freddie Welsh scored 36 wins with 22 losses and 6 draws from those 64 fights. So going on to KOs and rounds boxed, Freddie Welsh scored 34 knockouts in his career. He scored 7 KOs in 3 rounds or less. He also scored 1 KO in the first round. Now Welsh scored 1 KO against a champion, 1 KO against a Hall of Famer and 1 KO against a pound for pounder. He also scored 1 KO against rated fighters. And in terms of rounds boxed, Welsh fought a lot of professional career rounds, a total of 1,667. Now Welsh fought 60 title fight rounds, and he also fought totals of 205 rounds against champions, 230 rounds against Hall of Famers, and 230 rounds against pound for pound fighters. Now against rated opponents, Freddie Welsh being a pre-rating era fighter, he has very limited numbers. He fought 61 rounds against top 10 fighters, 39 rounds against top 3 fighters, and 39 rounds against ring champions. Big shout out to Bruce Gass in the chat. Good to see you, Bruce. Hope you had a good holiday stroke Christmas period or New Year. Yeah, so Freddie Welsh, okay, my greatest rated French fighter over Jimmy Wilde. I think Jimmy Wilde was a great flyweight, certainly. But I don't think Jimmy Wilde's resume has the depth that Freddie Welsh's does. And also I think Freddie Welsh, beat better fighters overall, even in wins over fighters like Benny Leonard, Johnny Dundee, Abe Attell. When you actually look at who Freddie Welsh beat, I don't think Jimmy Wilde can surpass that. Not in depth, nor in quality of names beaten. So going on to the slide against champions for Freddie Welsh, he had 16 fights against champions, including 10 wins, 6 losses, no draws. Freddie Welsh defeated 7 individual champions. They were Abe Attell, Willie Ritchie, Matt Wells, Johnny Dundee, Ad Walgast, Benny Leonard and Battling Nelson, and he scored stoppage over 1 champion individually. That was former lightweight champion Ad Walgast. And when we go to the Hall of Fame category, for Freddie Welsh, he has 18 fights against Hall of Famers, including 10 wins, 6 losses, 2 draws. He defeated 7 individual Hall of Fame fighters. They were Abe Attell, additional Jim Driscoll over the champions, Willie Ritchie, Johnny Dundee, Ad Walgast, Benny Leonard and Battling Nelson, and like with the champions, he scored a stoppage or knockout over one of those Hall of Famers individually. That was Ad Walgast. So when we go on to the pound for pound category, again we see the same record: 18 fights against pound for pounders, including 10 wins, 6 losses, 2 draws, and the same 7 pound for pounders be Abe Attell, Jim Driscoll, Willie Ritchie, Johnny Dundee, Ad Walgast, Benny Leonard and Battling Nelson. Certainly claims some great fighters of the lightweight division of that time. When you look at Battling Nelson, Benny Leonard, Ad Walgast, Willie Ritchie, and when you add other fighters in, featherweight champions like Abe Attell, Johnny Dundee, and then you factor all the other great fighters he fought, from Johnny Kilbane to Rocky Kansas, to that trilogy with Packy McFarland. Freddie Welsh's resume is indeed stacked and very deep. So, from leaving the 3 more niche opponent categories, okay, we'll go on to rated opponents. Now, Freddie Welsh, pre-rating era fighter, so he only has very limited numbers in rated opponents over what would be. So, on record, he has 7 official, including 3 wins, 4 losses, no draws. He also has 4 fights against top 3 fighters, including 1 win, 3 loss, no draw, and the same 4 fights against ring champions, including 1 win, 3 loss, no draw. Now, of course, fighters like Willie Ritchie, Ad Walgast, Johnny Kilbane, all of those fighters would have been ring champions in their day, but sadly we can't include them. It's hypothetical, even though it's fairly factual that they would have been ring champions. So, Freddie Welsh defeated 3 individual rated fighters, and he scored knockout or stoppage over 1 individual rated fighter. So when we go on to title fights, Freddie Welsh had 4 world title fights. Okay, he scored 3 wins, 1 loss, no draw. He made 2 title defences, and Freddie Welsh scored 0 title fight KOs. Now, obviously, against rated fighters, he was a champion long before the ratings came in. He fought on after that, of course, after being a champion, but he was a champion a lot of years before the ratings came in. So he has 0 wins against top 10 fighters, top 3 fighters, and ring champions in title fights. Freddie Welsh scored scored 2 wins against champions, 2 wins against Hall of Famers, 2 wins against pounders in title fights from those 3 wins. And when we go on to the title winning slide, okay, Freddie Welsh captured the world lightweight title. He was also lineal lightweight champion of the world and undisputed lightweight champion of the world. So remember, Freddie Welsh fought in a time, okay, before there was even the original 8 weight divisions, you know, the intermediate divisions of super feather, super bantam, light welter that came in the 20s were not even in existence when he was fighting. The lineal flyweight line, even though they were like regional or sub flyweight titles that some people called world titles, the lineal line wasn't established until 1916, of course, when Jimmy Wilde captured it and then held it for many years until the great Filipino Pancho Villa relieved him. So Freddie Welsh fought before there was 8 main divisions on the lineal line, hence why his record of beating champions is still impressive for the time. If Freddie Welsh were fighting in a 4-belt era, Lockport Jimmy Duffy, probably Mexican Joe Rivers, so many of them fighters, Young, Tim Callahan, lots of them could have won alphabet belts. His fights against champions would have been quite a large number, but again, we can't speculate. But there is the great lightweight champion from Wales, Freddie Welsh. Tomorrow it's a quicker video, a more modern fighter opening a new of the lower weight divisions, so that video will come tomorrow. But for now, big shout out to Bruce. I'm the Boxing Librarian. I'm out for now.